One. Hey
Yay!
everybody!
Hello!
How's everyone? Happy
Happy
Friday!
Friday. Happy Friday.
Yay!
How was your week, Aaron?
It's been busy.
Good
I feel
to
like
be
that's how we start
start
every
though,
week,
hopefully. Yeah.
telling everybody
Yeah,
how busy our week's been.
I know. Actually, not so much for me because I've had a week off. So
Oh
I
yeah.
had the whole week off. But I still had to do a lot of work, and it's still not been fabulous. With like sort of stuff. So I still kind even after a week off, I still kind of feel like it's like there's something exciting about the weekend, even though we don't get to go anywhere. There's like sort of something weird about it. I think because I know that nobody else is working, I know there's no
Yeah.
chance of anybody saying anything. So maybe that's what it is. Anyway, yay. Welcome everyone.
Hi
So,
everybody. We've got lots
right.
of people joining us today.
Yep. Hello, Catherine, and hello, Rochelle. And hello, UK Disney couple. They're on the phone talking to Cheryl's mum. I hope they're explaining to Cheryl's mum why ketchup is better in the fridge. That'll be a thing for them to do. Hey Nathan, welcome. Hey Marie, and hey Tommy. Tommy, I saw your Ghostbusters figure collection on Instagram. Epic, really really cool. Hey Aaron, welcome. Aaron and I. Sorry, maybe this is like a lot of info, but Aaron and I were talking on WhatsApp at 2 a.m. in the morning. Since Aaron's a friend of mine, and we were both like, maybe we should go to sleep. Like maybe that's something that we should do. We're having like a full-on conversation at 2 a.m. in the morning. It's like a random day.
Oh no, Natasha, you've kicked off the ketchup and now the pineapple debate again. We have so much more important things to talk about today.
Oh my god! I even set up a second screen for how many important things we have to talk
So
about
many
today.
important things. And Corinne didn't pull a Corinne this week.
Good
Yay!
job,
Go
Corinne. Good job.
We're proud of you. He's listening to us and Take That though. I feel like that's a random combination.
That
And
is
he's
a bit
also
of a random
soaking his
combination.
feet in a foot spa. I feel like this is an image we need to see.
Post it, Corinne. Go ahead, do it.
Okay,
I
so
was.
there are questions about my
Go.
hoodie. So this beautiful hoodie, as modeled by me, Lion King, it has like a cool. I'm getting confused by the directions of the camera. It has the cool sun. It has Pumbaa. It has Timon. It has Simba, and it has cool sleeves, and it has a cool bottom. And it was a birthday present from Natasha. So give me all the compliments you like, because they're compliments for us both, basically. Okay, everyone wants to know what you're eating, Natasha.
Today I'm
What is
eating
it this
gnocchi.
week?
It looks like a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a mess. But I'm eating gnocchi today. Is it gnocchi or gnocchi or like something completely
Gnocchi?
different to that?
Gnocchi. Gnocchi.
Gnocchi. Gnocchi.
Like
Anyway, it's
gnocchi.
gnocchi
I
with
think
tomato
so.
sauce and it's delicious. And I probably like I was gonna say I made it just in time to eat before the stream, but I didn't make it. Liam made it. Let's be honest. And Liam made it just in time for the stream, and then I was like, oh my god, I haven't set up. So then there's still a little bit
Yeah,
left.
we had a bit of a frantic pre-live 10 minutes, didn't we, Natasha?
Yeah,
I was running around trying to make a gin.
Oh yeah. Cameron's like, this is way too much gin. It's okay. I'm dehydrated. I'll have lots of tonic. I was like, what?
Look, and I forgot my straw.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to grab my straw in a sec. Look at that.
You go
Huge.
grab your straw.
I will.
Yeah. I want a foot spa now. I'm jealous, Corinne. Michael, hello. Clary Tell, hello, welcome. And Nathan is shouting at me already for talking about ketchup being in the fridge.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Barbecue sauce too. Derek, welcome. And Sean, hey, welcome. And everybody loves a cool bottom. On your jumper. On there.
Yeah.
There. I was like, the reference. Sometimes these things which you get to these random comments and you're just a bit like, what was this in reference to?
The worst is when you get halfway through reading a comment and then you realize I should have thought about this comment before I started reading it. Like sometimes you just read, like other times you'll read a comment and then you'll think about it and then you'll say it, but sometimes you just start reading the comments and you're like, where is this going?
And I'm just like, yeah, I'm the worst person for that as well. Just saying things and think I'm like a say something and then think about
and
it.
Think about it later. Yeah.
Yeah. Catherine says I have good taste. Woohoo, thank you. Cool. All right. And Aaron, no, I did not get the booze that you sent me. Oh my god, it's still in a hotel in London somewhere. I need to go pick it up. Aaron made some alcohol for me, and I need to go pick it up. Still, I'm the worst person ever. So I need to go do that. Hi, Miller Muffins, and Oh, Nathan, we're lucky a Sean makes it into their stream 1 minute before they go live. Hey, we're here. We were on time. It works.
Yeah.
And Leona has started us off with the big topic of the evening, which is Walt Disney World's reopening. She said, let's put this up so everybody can see. There we go. It's stressing me out a bit, so I'd love to hear your thoughts and understanding.
Yes.
Of
Okay.
it was
Where shall we start?
Yay, and then like that,
and then and then and then I think everyone's heads today were like
yeah. So let's recap here, okay? Because like there's so much stuff that happened. So there are 2 parks which are opening on June 11th and 2 parks which are opening on June 15th, right? And I can't remember which one's which, but I did
AK and MK. Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom first, Epcot and Hollywood Studios second.
Yeah. Okay, which is great. But then there were some announcements today, or at least some stuff came out today about how things are going to work, and people are really quite upset hearing about fast passes being cancelled, about the dining plan being cancelled, and dining reservations being cancelled. Right? That's
so they were the main announcements, plus the fact that there will be no more ticket sales. At least for the moment, there'll be no more ticket sales for tickets valid this year, and no more hotel bookings for the moment either. So both ticket sales and hotel bookings are on pause. And the big thing being that cancelling the Disney dining plan, okay, it's very straightforward for people that have paid for it. You just get your money back. But what about packages that actually include free dining, and how are they gonna work all of that? And some information was circulating today on Twitter, but it turns out it was actually referencing the US market. And I think the communication was that if you had a hotel reservation that came with free dining, your free dining was going to be cancelled. And then the wording was really strange, because it said you would then get 30% off a hotel booking at a future date, like as in you would get it off your next booking, which seems very strange, because what you'd expect it to be is actually off the booking that you've just lost the free dining on. Because what most people, I guess, maybe if you haven't looked into it before, normally if you get free dining, you pay full rack rate. So you pay the most expensive price you'll probably see that room for if you get free dining. If you don't get free dining, the other offer that you'll find is a reduced rack rate, i.e. like a cheaper room per night. And actually, if you do the maths, free dining, cheaper room, it tends to work out the same. Actually, it tends to work out sometimes in favor of the cheaper room. So if they were to say, we've cancelled your dine-in, but instead we're going to replace it with a reduced room rate, that to me makes sense. But that's not what they're saying. And what they're saying is very unclear. And also, apparently what they're saying doesn't apply to UK customers yet. So the UK lines have obviously been inundated today with people calling, asking what's happened to my package that has free dine-in. And we're basically being told, we don't have any information yet. You're going to have to wait. So it's frustrating, isn't it? Because why?
It's pretty frustrating. And I know the US market is so different as well, and so that's what makes it so confusing for us, because they're more likely in the US to go for a much shorter trip and more often. So maybe the money off a subsequent visit makes a little bit more sense. But I still don't like it, even if that was the case. I sat next to so many people in like Phantasmic shows and started chatting with random families and stuff, which said, they were American, they'd saved so much to come to Walt Disney World, and they just drove down, so just like save on the airfare and everything just to take their kids to Walt Disney World. So to make this sort of blanket assumption that they definitely would come back, so here's the money off on your subsequent trip, it's a tough one.
I get what they're doing, right? So they've cancelled the dining plan, and they've cancelled free dining for next year. I'm not surprised about the free dining for next year, because they have to.
That was really wishful thinking if we thought we were going to get, and I was still holding on to it a bit. I really was, but it was an obvious one, a real obvious one.
But I think, and I also, to be honest, I know like some people are really annoyed about this, but I actually understand why they've cancelled the dining plan for existing reservations, because at the moment, all dining reservations are being cancelled. Then what's going to happen is you're going to have to go online through whatever system it's going to be and book your park. So actually book like you would a fast pass.
Can you only do a park a day?
We don't know that yet. So none of this information is out. All we know is we're going to have to book our place for entry into a park.
Yeah.
Then you're also going to have to book new dine-in reservations. So I get why they've done what they've done, because they can't keep everybody's existing dine-in reservations, because the restaurants aren't going to have the same capacity. And how do you then pick and choose people? And also, how do you match people that have reservations with their then park reservations that they're going to have to make? It would just be a complete mess. So
exactly.
I think they
and
have to cancel it all.
Yeah, I mean, and so many people could just pop into Magic Kingdom just to go to Be Our Guest breakfast and then leave to go and do something else. And so if you kept those reservations in and they're like, actually, we didn't make a plan to be in this park today, then that kind of throws everything out as well. So like, it seems like the easiest option for them to do. But yeah, I'm like sort of, I build software and stuff for a living, and I just can't work out another way that it could be done otherwise. Even with the app and stuff, I was just like, this is just so difficult to do in this shorter time frame. But it doesn't mean that we can't be upset about it, you know.
Yeah, so, of course.
So that's kind of,
I think, to be honest, my biggest upset is the lack of information, and the fact that they've dropped like these bombs of information bits without further clarification, without further information. And the thing is, you know, they've had time to put these communications together and to make sure that when they delivered the big message, which is we're cancelling this, and this, that actually they also told you how they were either going to compensate you for that, how it was going to work when you had to rebook your reservations, how you were going to book like your entrance to the park, all these kind of things. It all should have come out as one big piece of information, and not like this weird drip feed and conflicting information, because that's just making people stress out even more. And I feel sorry for the cast members really at the moment that are stuck answering the phones and like, you know, dealing with people asking questions that they can't answer.
Yeah, so what Sean says is that there's just one announcement and then another, and lots of conflicting info and confusion.
Yeah,
nothing for the international guests. It makes you sort of wonder whether there's an assumption or some kind of understanding that there's not going to be any international guests.
I mean,
and
I hope not.
I know, but that sort of crept up. And UK Disney couple said, "Are we really surprised they've cancelled though?" No, I mean, like, you know, that it's just as difficult. It's so difficult to work out that problem. Could you imagine if you had dining reservations and they announced, we're going to cancel 50%, and you're just waiting to find out whether you're 50%, you know, you're part of that 50%.
It just doesn't work, because the thing they have to do as well is they have to give priority to their hotel guests. Like, so hotel guests are going to get the priority for booking the park they want to go to, and they're going to get priority for the new dine-in reservations, and they're still going to get their usual like just priority as being a hotel guest. So I think they have to do it this way. There is no other way. I just think they could have, the big thing that's missing, the gap in information, is what happens to reservations that have dine-in plan. How they're going to figure it out. So
yeah, I mean, Derek says that his June trip with free dining was cancelled and there's no updates on replacements. I mean, so that's, I mean, at least that's clear that that's just that is a cancelled trip. Now, obviously it's heartbreaking, but it's a cancelled trip. And the other sort of thing we were chatting about is if you have trips coming up in the fall and the autumn time, what does that mean for your trip? Because for some people, that I think for quite a number of us in our sort of friendship group, it's, you know, the dining plan is a huge part of our Walt Disney World experience. It's really strange to think about it now, like 10, 20 years ago, this just wasn't the case. But now it's like, it's such a big thing. It's something that you paid for. You don't have to worry about. You've got your 2 snacks. You've got your table service meal. You know exactly what you're doing. And it's kind of like, it's hassle free, right? I'm going to Garden Grill today. I'll find a few snacks at Epcot. Like, it's done.
Yeah. And to be honest, for me, it increases the enjoyment, because if I wouldn't have the same like amount of fun with food if I was paying for everything, because you can't help but be conscious of money, of what you're spending. And when you go in and the dining plan is there and you've got your credits, you just get to enjoy your food, and you just get to like ponder around and pick what you want and stick it on. And it's the fun factor of that as well as the convenience of it. But I just feel like I enjoy my food food and I enjoy the food and Disney experience more when I'm not worrying about how much everything's costing me.
I know, because it is expensive. I know, and it's actually
Yeah,
like
it's
I've
so
done them. I haven't done the maths. I've looked into it enough, right? I've looked into enough vlogs where they've done the maths, and especially for somebody like Liam who is vegetarian, Liam won't break even on his dining plan cost. If we pay for it, obviously if it's free, that's different. But if we pay for it, Liam won't break even on his dining plan cost because he's always eating vegetarian food.
Yeah.
I might do, but realistically, you really want to be going for all of the meat dishes, like, and always order steak. If steak is available on the dining plan, you order it if you're going to get your money's worth. I suppose with the alcohol now, though, maybe it is a little bit better.
Yeah, I do get my money worth, like, but the thing is,
you do very well.
I have two different trips. If I have the dining plan, I'll get my money's worth for the dining plan. If I don't have the dining plan, I won't spend the same amount of money that I would have spent on food had I had the dining plan. It's kind of like, for me, it's like apples and oranges. Having the dining plan and not having the dining plan means I will eat and drink differently because I'm looking at what I'm consuming differently. So
I know,
Nathan has made a point here, just saying that it's been confirmed you'll be able to park up with the reservation system. Okay. That's interesting. Thanks for that, Nathan.
Yeah, that's good to know, because it's different. So Karen and I, although we've been to quite a few parks together, oddly our typical day in Disney is a little bit different. You tend to park up quite a lot, and I'm not. I can do a whole park in a day. Like I would get there and I'll just stay till it closes, and that's me.
But then you do crazy things as well. Like we left you in Animal Kingdom, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna go to French Quarter and then Disney Springs and then back to somewhere else, and then I'll meet you back in Animal Kingdom. It's like, what?
I wanted to go to the pin store. If there's a pin store, it might be different. If it's a pin store, there's different.
But yeah, you definitely can spend more time. I tend to take the break, so the break means then that I don't like the convenience of staying in the same park isn't there because I have to go back to a park anyway. So we tend to split morning and afternoon up.
Yeah, like Trevor says it's almost like they're making it up as they go along. I might have a tiny amount of insight into this. Like, I do some work in events, like with a company that we work with, and it seems like it's been quite common for this information to sort of trickle out, so that companies can sort of try to hold on to as much of the capital that they've lost as much as possible. And so I'm wondering if they're sort of testing the waters and going to find out at some point that actually they need to offer a better deal and then offer that better deal. But I've seen organizations do this, but I wouldn't have thought Disney would be one of them. I wouldn't have thought it.
Yeah, like one of the really bad things that I saw on social media today, so Hannah put up in her stories that she had checked the prices of the hotels a week ago, and then obviously we saw announcements coming out today about, the 35% discount, and she said she checked hotel prices again today, and guess what, they've gone up by 35%. And like, okay, they haven't announced the 35% in the UK yet, so we don't know what's going to happen there, but that's some shady business. Like that's actually stuff like something along those lines is pretty much illegal in the UK. You can't raise the price of something and then offer a discount.
And then offer it at a discount. Yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about that.
So that to me, that was the one thing I saw today. Everything else, like I kind of get my head around. We're waiting to see what they're going to do about free dining. But when I saw that, I was like, no, Disney, we expect better. Like we expect better. So I hope, hopefully we're wrong, and hopefully, I don't know, things are going to change. But seeing that was really not nice to see today, because I mean, I get it that they actually have to start pricing some people out to reduce their numbers.
Yeah.
But for people who have existing reservations, like Disney's the place that I feel like you should feel really safe with making your booking. They go above and beyond to look after their customers. So if you've got an existing booking, Disney should be looking after you. And whether that's giving you money back because you've lost your free dining, or giving you the exact same trip for this time next year, or whatever it is they're going to do for you, I just expect to be looked after better. I think the bar is higher for Disney, and that's why we pay more for Disney, is because we expect to be looked after better. And at the moment, the information they're putting out, we're not really seeing that we're getting looked after very well. So hopefully, I mean, hopefully things change, but
And Derek said the
Yeah.
same, as hopefully we'll get more information once the plans are officially approved. But Trevor actually reminded me of a question that I wanted to ask, which is, he says, my family are not going anywhere until near a theme park until it's completely over. Far too many restrictions and rules. Not my idea of fun. And I've thought about this in a different way. So I do want to do a big family trip in the next few years, definitely. But we'll see how things pan out now. But I might do a different type of trip. Like I can imagine you and I going, Karen, and how it's still still making the best of this situation, right? Yeah. And I can imagine that being a really cool thing. Or I could go with a week with my brother or something like that. And I said the exact same. It's not going to be the same. Yeah. But that big family trip is just
So me and Rachel said the exact same. I was like, I'd go with Rachel for a week. I'd go but then I think of the family trip, the big family trip. So my parents included.
Once in a lifetime. I know we go but that is for lots of people. It's that once in a lifetime trip, right? Yeah. Just, and they plan so much for it, and now for those things to not be there.
And then it's the fact that you can't just say, okay, well, I'll just move it to next year, because that's not something that's being offered. So yeah, it's tough. So Paul and Cheryl said, we have you on whilst we're making churros, so you're going to be in our vlog if that's okay. That is absolutely fine. You have our permission.
Want to see some pictures in the Instas, please.
Oh, we've got lots of comments to catch up on.
I know, sorry, thanks so much. And Hannah says she needs to drink some alcohol to deal with this. Still fuming. Yeah, I know. It's not like the best thing at the moment. And Kirsch will say, completely agree with you, Karen. Not being reminded that money is coming out of our pocket every time we eat is enough for us to love the dining plan. It's just like, it's that one strange thing, and it's especially when you're traveling with lots of people, it's so lovely to just say, okay, this is your half of the money. Like this is how much you owe for your trip. This is going to pay for your hotel, it's going to pay for your ticket, it's going to pay for your food, and now we don't need to worry about splitting things or doing anything else. It's done, right? And it's sad. And so now I'm getting worried about what this means for next year. Will they reintroduce it in a different capacity? Is it just going to go for a while? That's sad. It's really sad.
So my dad has said the Disney experience just wouldn't be the same without the dining plan, because we'd end up going off-site for food. That's true. Like I say, I would just have a different experience. If we're spending money out of our pocket, we would do things like go to Walmart, get bagels, have bagels for breakfast in the room, go like for more meals off site, because it does save you quite a bit of money. So it changes the dynamics of the trip, I think.
Yeah. Paula has said happy birthday to Rachel for the first, and happy birthday to Karen. Because your sister's birthday is around the same time too, right?
Yeah, so Rachel's birthday's on Monday. So I'm so sad I can't go home and see her, but yeah, it's on Monday. And obviously my birthday was last Tuesday, and then my dad's birthday was the Wednesday before. So he's the 21st, I'm the 26th, she's the 1st. So my poor mom has like 3 birthdays very close together.
Yeah. Wow. I can't believe it. You're just dealing with all of those presents. Just like group presents. We're all going to the theatre. That's what I would do. Done. Anyway, Trevor says that, let's be honest, here Disney are in a massive financial hole right now. I guess we don't know the extent of it. I've seen sort of events companies and the financial situation that they're in as being really quite dire. And so that's where these kind of intense methods have come from. So yeah, I don't know. It's tough. And Elise, so hello from California. I also miss your Tokyo and Shanghai videos. Keep up the work when you were able to go back. Yes, I've had a couple of weeks off. I didn't have a video up this week. So it's a work-related thing, secret. If you want to know, DM me on Insta. I'm happy to share. Just not so much on a thing, but not related to YouTube, not related to Instagram, related to other bits and pieces. So yeah, I've been off for a couple of weeks, but I will be back. With stuff. With Trevor was saying, those family photos all wearing masks, standing 2 meters from Mickey and friends. I know, it'll be sad, right? I mean, I'm just wondering if you could do some kind of cool pictures or something, or wearing Mickey, like sort of different, Fab Five masks, and they're sort of standing on a podium above you or something. I don't know, you'd have to make it work somehow. So Kershaw said, would you still go if travel insurance doesn't cover COVID? I will not step anywhere near the USA if I'm not covered with travel insurance.
No,
Absolutely
I
no
checked
way.
with my insurance provider. They've said that for any new bookings, I'm not covered for a cancellation. So, as in, if I decide not to go because of COVID, but I am covered for medical treatments over there. I would never step foot in the US without travel insurance that covers my medical bills, because you could literally bankrupt yourself.
I know, it's just,
Like,
and it's
it's
not even if
insane.
you're quite healthy, it's just getting knocked over, having
Yeah, it
an
could be
unfortunate
anything, breaking an
accident.
arm, like whatever.
Yeah, and it could be nothing to do with you. Somebody can hit you enough in a part, like sort of run as they're running to a ride and bash into you, and you might just knock yourself into something, and that's it. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just completely outside of your control, and for that reason, I wouldn't go. It's interesting though, Karen, if you're still covered for medical bills, I mean, that is the big problem, right? So, I mean, for some people, they might want to consider it, but yeah. Anyway, that's an interesting one. Disneyland Paris. I've heard no announcements about Disneyland Paris at
No,
all.
there was an announcement yesterday that theme parks in France are allowed to open. I think, is it the 21st of June? Somebody might know here, but somewhere around there. But Disneyland Paris have not made any announcements yet, so you know, we're still waiting on that. I mean, realistically, that could be the next park that we get to. If we're looking for our Disney fix, because we could be restricted to, you know, only European travel for a while yet. We still don't know. So
yeah,
might
it's a
be the
tough
only
one.
way.
Hannah has an interesting fact. Bob Iger is pretty brutal about the previous CEO in his book, how Michael Eisner was only interested in numbers, not the morals relationship with the guest. And let's hope Bob Chapek isn't the same. Chapek. I know how to say names. I heard about this too, actually, but mostly because I got really engrossed in the whole story of Euro Disney and like Paris becoming Disneyland Paris and everything, and Michael Eisner being in control of the company at that time, and just how many sort of odd cultural inaccuracies he got when we were talking a few weeks ago, right, about the whole Euro thing, that we see it as being this kind of very commercial thing, and they choose to call it Euro Disney. We have a currency named Euro. Come spend your Euros at Euro Disney. I don't think Euros were a thing at the time, so maybe that's
but it was still
decent excuse. It was just not. It wasn't really, but yeah, I heard that a lot as well, and the kind of you get one good one bad one kind of plays on me a little bit, but I know nothing. Well, I guess I do know a little bit about Bob Chapek, but wasn't he looking after parks for quite a while? And so that's one positive thing. But I also heard a number of people complaining that he was making quite significant cuts in parks as well, especially in Disneyland. So a number of those magical elements in Disneyland, mostly related to the street entertainers. So that's the big thing that he was cutting back on. So
my sister actually got me Bob Iger's book, the one that Hannah's talking about, for my birthday. So I'll get to read that. I'll find out all about it.
I haven't read it. But do you know what? I'm like, no joke. I think Bob Iger is a bit of a dish, like full on. Like he's.
Oh my God, I thought you were going to say a bad word. I was like, Natasha, we don't curse on this channel.
Like he's okay, right?
Yeah,
like
he's
pretty all right.
It's okay. I mean, my dad's watching, so like, you know, calm down a bit.
Just saying. Kathy says she's going to take all the money. I'm guessing this is from not going on a trip this year and go on a cruise. I have a big JetBlue credit that has to be used by February 2021. Let's hope. Pray to the gods that you can use it, Kathy. Let's hope so. That's a long time off. So I keep thinking about this time. Like it was March. In March, you know, that people were still going. There was still I've still seen vlogs, you know, recently of people's trips from March, and it's only May. And so I keep thinking. I do think there's going to be a lasting effect.
It feels like so much longer.
And so but then I sort of reason with myself that it's 2021. That's like way longer than it's been since all of this stuff kicked off. I definitely think that there's going to be a lasting effect, but it's a much longer time. So maybe there's some comfort in that at least.
Go on. No, go on. Put that back up.
Kathy was saying that it could be worse. All the kids in her family are born in December, and my parents' wedding anniversary is in December too. I know that some people who are born in December, they do this thing where they have another, like the Queen, they have another birthday halfay through the year, right? So that they can do something like that's not during Christmas.
Nobody has a weekend free in December. It's a horrible time to try and arrange something.
I always find that with August as well, though, because everybody was off. So friends of mine who have birthdays in August, they just slip me by because I remember, like from being kids, I just don't remember because I wouldn't see them during the summer holidays.
So Paul and Cheryl were saying I've been trying to get hold of their financials from a friend in the US, but they don't have a company's house like we do. Interesting fact. I actually, so I'm an accountant in case you don't know, and one of my projects in college, university, was to do like a financial deep dive on a company, and I actually did it on the Walt Disney Company, and I was able to get their financials. So I'm not sure if perhaps they were published as public information up to a certain point, maybe. And do you know what? I know that the Diz talk about them as well. They talk about their quarterly financials and their projections. So the information is available somewhere. They might not have like a company's house equivalent that you can just download from, but they do actually release their financial information. Because I know the Diz do talk about it. So yeah, I did like an interesting project on the Walt Disney World Company.
That's really cool. I know that non-profit organizations must release their financial statements in the US, but I have no idea about sort of for-profit companies. So yeah, obviously it's somewhere there. If the Diz are getting hold of it, it would be very interesting to read it. Trevor says when we go to Disney, it's going to be Tokyo. Now, I had a thought about this actually, because the next time I want to book a Walt Disney World trip is most likely going to be September. I think that's probably the time that for when I want to go for a big vacation next, it's going to have to be September that I would book. And so I'm going to see how this all plays out over the next couple of months, and off the back of that, make a decision as to whether it's going to be a better thing to invest in going over to a bigger trip in Japan next year rather than hitting up Walt Disney World, which would be sad. It would be sad.
I think we missed. I was just going to say, it's Paula's birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday, Paula!
Oh, happy birthday, Paula!
Yeah,
that's awesome. Happy birthday! Yeah, here.
Sean's
from your dad.
Yeah, Sean's comment made me laugh. Is anyone going to buy my holiday off me?
I think it might have crumbled in value, Sean.
Yeah.
I don't think the rate's very high on that right now. Cappy's recommendation is reading the Disney War. It's really interesting. Disney was rather ugly in the 80s and 90s. So this is actually a thing. It's quite interesting because there's a lot of people our age who are quite, or maybe a little bit older than us, who are quite negative on the Disney company, and sort of, we've been adults who like Disney, and sometimes that gets a bit of a bad rep, right? It gets sort of some weird comments at work and these kind of things. And I wondered whether this has something to do with it, whether there was sort of, a few kind of interesting things that happened in the 80s and 90s, which turned off a few people from the organization. I know they were quite there was a lot of investment in TV, radio networks, and in particular areas at that time, but I don't know anything more than that. Might be quite interesting to find out.
Linda's comment is the characters should wear masks. It was the first thing my son noticed about the stormtroopers at the opening of Disney Springs on their way. Like, why aren't the stormtroopers wearing their masks? Well, I guess they're kind of in masks already. So.
Yeah, I know, but it would be so cute, wouldn't it? Like, it just like, where would it hang? Where would it go?
I know.
I love it. It'd be adorable.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it would be quite interesting to see actually face characters doing that. I don't think they'd put face characters in masks. I think they'd do face characters at distance, and I think that's how they'd continue to do with that.
I think so. Because they do like to keep the appearance of the characters up, don't they?
Yeah.
So Paul and Cheryl said DLP maybe June opening late in the month. That's what I heard. So that I don't think they've said anything officially, but that like I said, theme parks now have permission to open in France towards the end of June. Oh, okay, Nathan says June 28th. June 28th.
It's yeah, because there's quite a lot. We were talking about this as well. There's quite a lot of theme parks in Europe, and we never get to hear about them. So I follow this guy who, it's Stefan. He's Fritz Park Traveler, and I believe Fritz Park is theme park in German. Somebody can correct me. I'm pretty sure that's right. But anyway, he wrote this really, really lovely blog post about his favorite Disney bloggers, and I managed to, for some crazy reason, end up on this list. Anyway, we've been friends ever since then, and he does this amazing Instagram account. I'll post it later. It's all in German. So I have to warn you, it's all in German. But if you want a snapshot of like the other theme parks in Europe. It's just unbelievable what is actually there. And I've been looking at them for some time. And there's Europa Park, and Europa Park actually has half an Epcot dome in it. It has half an Epcot dome, and all of its roller coasters seem to whiz in and out of each other and go underneath the ground. And, like, it looks unbelievable. The one I really, really want to go to is Efteling in the Netherlands. So Efteling is like the first theme park. We always think that Disneyland was. Efteling's been open since 1952, and and Walt Disney visited it. So it's like everybody in the English speaking world is like, the first theme park ever was Disneyland, but Efteling was open from 1952, and Walt Disney did go there. But it's based on Dutch fairy tales, so it's a little bit trippy. Yeah, it's a little bit trippy. I'm dying to go. Yeah, I'm dying to go. When I was in Amsterdam for a while, I was just like, can we make it there? But it's just the other end of the country, so it was a little bit difficult. But yeah, so I'm wondering about that, whether there's going to be, if you can't get elsewhere, there's a number of other parks in Europe which look really quite interesting. We just don't ever get marketed them because I think we are so locked onto Disney. Like in the UK, it's that you go to a theme park, you go to Disney. There's nothing else there, right?
Yeah, for sure. Right, we've got loads of comments to catch up on.
It's normal.
So we have no news in France about DLP. Only restaurants can open in June for now. That's not what I heard. But I guess we're, again, mixed messages coming out. And then Alan said DLP should not be until September, except DLP seems to think the government rules do not apply to them.
Oh dear.
Paul and Charles said, don't get me started on Shapek.
Yeah, Nathan said he's a terrible park chairman, but now we've got Diamaro. He's okay as well, by the way, just FYI. Just for other things. No, don't do that. Cool. His interview on US, I think this is about Chapek, his interview on US telly is very much a politician. There was like a whole load of things sometime about like Bob Iger running for president at one point. I thought that would be really quite cool. But he
seems to be enjoying like I know he's sort of stepped back in and is doing work and stuff, but he seems to be enjoying like the life of retirement.
Yes, that's true. That is true. I would 100% vote for him. Not that I can, but I would. So Stephanie says, Natasha, do you prefer Tokyo to Shanghai Disney? I do. I love many things about Shanghai Disney. And two of my favorite rides are there. Although 3 of my favorite rides are in Tokyo Disney, but I love Pirates of the Caribbean and in Shanghai Disneyland, and I absolutely love Tron. And actually my favorite land is in Shanghai Disney, which is the Tomorrowland. Although that kind of ties with Galaxy's Edge now, because I do quite like Galaxy's Edge.
But that buzz is great as well, though, in Shanghai. It's so
and the
good.
music they play in the whole of Tomorrowland, it's just crazy. It just feels like a video game. It feels like you're in a sci-fi video game. It's just beautiful.
There's so many things I love about it. We need to roll that out. Like, we need to have that kind of buzz everywhere.
I'm just I keep looking at it, but I think there's so many elements, the original design of Tomorrowland, the Disneyland design of Tomorrowland, that I think they want to hold on to in many places. But there's I think Luke and Rich said it perfectly. There's some element of magic in Tokyo, and that customer service there is just unbelievable.
And that's a big part of it.
Yeah, of everything. Also, they absolutely adore in Tokyo. They absolutely adore Fantasyland like things. That's kind of their focus. It's not there's not so much of the emphasis on the scarier rides or more intense rides elements. It's more of a fairy tale fantasy,
like thing. Traditional Disney park stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So Aaron's asking, have you been making Dole Whip at home in lockdown? I may have had a load of frozen pineapple ready to go.
I've seen people
do this. Right. Okay, so I have a thing with this Dole Whip at home. I've seen people do it. I think, wasn't it Lucy and Lewis were doing this? Peep Outside. I'm sure they were doing it. And but I thought that whoever I saw do it, I saw them put ice cream in it. I'm sure they put ice cream in it. And maybe it wasn't Lucy and Lewis, because it doesn't sound like something Lucy would do.
Yeah.
But yeah, somebody who did it, they put ice cream and they said it tasted amazing. But I was sure that Dole Whip didn't have dairy in it. But if you manage to create the taste, that's the point, right? You're trying to create the taste of it. So if you get there with dairy, then whatever, it's fine. But I would like to try it. Oh, Derek says corporations have to publicly release for investors. So
Yeah, that's what I thought.
there is a way to get hold of the reports.
Alan's comment down below says Disney do quarterly earnings call the US term, which
that's what you have to say.
Is where they just get their info.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's for us in the UK. For people who are on here, we have this sort of, I don't know, Karen, what the term is, but it's a organization called Companies House, and they have a website, and you have to submit your financial data to Companies House, and then anybody can request that data from. So I can just write to Companies House and say I want the financial data from this organization. They have to send it to me. I don't know if you have to pay. You might have to pay a little bit. So yeah, Kathy raised an interesting point about travel restrictions and quarantine restrictions, because that's the other thing that sort of come out recently is if you travel to another country and you come back, like in the UK, this sort of, I don't know if it's still happening right now, but do you still have to do 14 days in quarantine?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks quarantine unless you're coming from Ireland, and I think they might have added France in there as well, but definitely from Ireland you don't have to. So,
okay.
But yeah, that's a thing. So the thing is, I don't know if they've got any sort of, if they're allowing like people to change, like as in to do a connecting flight. I don't know if they're allowing a connecting flight, because in that case, like you're landing, you're going to your next flight, and you're not coming out through customs and stuff. So maybe they are allowing that, but I guess it's not really happening, right? Because nobody's traveling right now. So I'm sure we'll get more information when flights actually pick up again as to whether you can just get a connecting flight without having to quarantine, because it doesn't really make sense to make people quarantine that are only going through the airport. You're actually then forcing them to come into the country when what you're trying to do is not have more people come in and bring stuff into the country. So,
and it also kind of depends on the quarantine situations. If they say, I'm lucky enough that I can be at home and work at home, so if they say to me, okay, you've just come back and you've got to stay at home now, I could make that work. As long as one of us can get food, or we can get food somehow, we could make that work. But that's a shame for however many people are still working, all the key workers that are still working, and then they have this other slap in the face that they not able to go because they have to quarantine afterwards.
I'm gonna jump down the comments because we are super behind now. So Tommy made the point about reading somewhere that Japan is going to pay towards everyone's trip to Japan. They've let everyone out now, so maybe Tokyo Disney soon. So I remember you talking about this, Natasha, that you were going to get like
TDR compensation for this, and I was like, oh my god, what? So I think the way it's going to work is I think they're going to subsidize they're going to subsidize the industry. So I think rather than you getting 50% of the cost of your holiday back, they're just going to give hotels here's 50% of what you would have earned during this time, and so that they can charge the customer 50% of the rate. A hotel is £100 a night, it'll be £50 a night. And it's that to me makes the most sense. And from everything I've read, that seems to be the way that they would do it. So I don't think it's going to be everything. It's not like you write to the Japanese government and say, here's my hotel bill and here's my
50% back.
Yeah, exactly. I said this to my brother, and I said, oh, it looks like Japan are going to pay 50% of your holiday bill. He said, great, they can pay for my half. I was like, that's not how it works, Stephen. Like, come on.
That's so funny. So there's a few comments coming in about the European park. So how do you pronounce it? Efteling?
I think it's Efteling, but I don't know. Efteling. A friend of mine is actually from the Netherlands, so I should ask her direct, but I think it's Efteling.
So there's lots of people. So lots of comments saying you definitely need to go there. And then also Alan was saying Portaventura in Spain used to be a Universal Park. I didn't know it used to be Universal Park. I've been to it though as a child.
I didn't know it was going to be it'd been a Universal Park, but it's quite an intense one, right? It's a Karen park. It's not a Natasha park.
I have a story for you. Like, so I think my dad's on here, so he'll comment. But I was very young. I think I was like, I'm 6 maybe. I don't know. Dad will come. I probably was younger than that, And we went. There's like the Dragon Can is like one of their big. I think it was called the Dragon Can, something like that. It had like 8 loops at the time. It was like one of, I don't know. I think it had the most loops or something. I don't know. And I was looking at it and I was like, do I want to go on it? And I was like, yeah, no, I do want to go on it. Queued up with my dad and his brother, being really brave. And then I was too short. And they wouldn't let me on, so I couldn't go on it. So I was devastated. But apparently I had some guts when I was a kid as well. I always loved the big rides. So
I don't know. See,
there you
I'm
go.
happy to throw myself off of diving boards at any height when I was little, but not a roller coaster. Forget it. Absolutely not. Corinne says Portaventura is my go-to. Moved this year to September 21st, but may still be booked for September depending on the situation. Oh, Karen, we need to get on this European park thing. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
my dad said I was
Almost
6, by the
time.
way. So
Oh my goodness, you're a crazy human, just a crazy human. We went so yeah, your dad says we went to as a family to Portaventura first 2 years it opens. Karen was 6.
oh,
Yeah,
it
there
was
you
that
go.
early. Wow. I still remember it. Do you know what I also remember? I remember my dad and my uncle bringing me on, one of those like pirate ships, but this was
Yeah.
like an intense, one. Like it went up super high. And they thought it'd be funny to put the 6-year-old in a row by herself, the little 6-year-old, while him and his brother sat in front of me. And every time we went up, I came flying out of my seat and I was screaming. I thought I was gonna I literally thought I was gonna come out of the boat. Like, and my dad, it actually got to the stage where my dad was like reaching behind and I nearly knocked my flowers over, reaching behind and holding me to just to make me feel a bit better about it. Oh my God, it was so scary.
I wouldn't have spoken to my dad for 2 weeks straight, full out. Like, no way. Just
my
like,
mom was so
absolutely not. Absolutely not. Troy says, is spring a very busy time in Tokyo Disneyland and Sea? How do you plan the best time to visit? Troy, the best thing you can do is avoid the Japanese holidays as much as you possibly can. So just remember, Japanese schools finish in like we finish in August or in July and start again in September. They actually finish in March and start again in April. So towards the end of March, cherry blossom season, unfortunately, is extremely busy time to travel in Japan because all the kids are switching over their school year. So you really want to go from sort of mid-April onwards until pretty much the end of May, beginning of June. But during that time, there's going to be a week called Golden Week, which is going to have a number of national holidays in it. So it's 1 week full of national holidays, and you want to miss that. It changes every year, so just put into Google Golden Week Japan for the year that you're going to go, and do not book for that week, and any other time is fine. Once it hits June 6th, rainy season will start, so you kind of want to get in before June 6th because it gets very rainy in Japan. Like, do you know, that's like one of the things when I realized that the whole Noah's Ark thing was like definitely not a thing. When I lived through Tokyo's rainy season, I was just like, there has been 40 days and 40 nights of rain, right? And I ain't seen an ark. So, like, absolutely
right, Natasha, we're going on a speed. No. We're gonna speed through them. Right, you ready? We're gonna go on a fast one. Okay. So Ian says apparently Portaventura at Halloween is amazing. Great. Corinne says Portaventura wins over DLP because it has a water park. Also great. Derek says, as a US resident, don't wish to visit anytime soon. I live in the Midwest, and even I'm hesitant. Yeah. Okay. Trevor says, Japanese customer service is the best. Americans just want tips. Controversial. Luke and Rich said, evening. Sorry we're late. We were having dinner. That's no excuse. You guys, I'm only messing. You have to eat.
Oh, I'm eating now.
Yeah, Natasha's always eating during these lives. You could have come on and joined us with your food. We wouldn't have minded. So Trevor says, Star Wars hasn't been a success for Disney. In fact, there's no hope for Star Wars as long as Kathleen Kennedy is still in a job. Oh.
Just
also
I'm
controversial.
And we haven't even talked about Star Wars Episode 9, which I've tried to raise from my brain and I can't do it, Karen. I can't. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
Oh, okay. So Kathy's comment makes sense now. Kathy says, I have to go through customs to get to Southampton where the ship leaves because she's going on a cruise. It's over 6 months away, so hopefully it'll change. I'm sure in 6 months' time the 14-day quarantine will be lifted. But that's, I mean, I say I'm sure, I'm not sure, I don't know, but I'm guessing.
It's Luke and Rich with the info.
I think they'll say that if you have been in any non-air bridge country in the last 14 days, then you'll have to quarantine.
Non-air bridge country.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, guys.
Luke, guys, you know too much. You know too many things.
I don't get the lingo.
Okay, in with the lingo. Right, sorry.
Luke and Rich. Oh, go ahead.
Trevor says we're planning on a Disney Tokyo in December, hopefully. Ooh, I do recommend very much. I like Japan in the winter very much. And Luke says cheap Japan is cheaper, is appealing. 50% off the room at the Mirror Costa. Yes, please. Oh my God. I think I need to sell a kidney and 50% off the room to stay at Mirror Costa. It's crazy, but yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful hotel.
Oh, Hannah.
Fast forward to 2021. What fun things will be at the 50th anniversary? I now have vodka and Coke. Really fun. Oh, so okay. I was talking about this earlier, and I think that you probably will still see Tron. I can't imagine that they're going to cancel Tron. I think that's still going to go ahead, and like obviously Ratatouille is going to be open as well. And I don't know so much about what was the other big announcements for the 50th anniversary. I guess all I'm thinking about is rides, but that's sort of like more longer term than 50th.
Yeah. I'm not too sure, to be honest.
I know. I think
was any of the hotels going to open? I know there's like is it Reflections? Were any of them going to be open in time? I can't remember. It's hard to know now, though, right? Because like construction has now been delayed on a lot.
I think probably what they'll do is focus heavily on those big ticket items. They get Tron open, get Ratatouille open, and do the decorations. Possibly a fireworks show or anything like that is still good because you can still do those social distancing measures at that time. I think we're going to say goodbye to a few rides, though. I think we're saying goodbye to the Mary Poppins ride in the UK Pavilion. I don't think that's going to happen now.
Yeah, I was so excited for that as well.
I think it's going.
Okay, I think we need to skip down a little bit as well. There's lots of chit chat about.
Oh no, we have to say Trevor's the Super Mario World at Universal Japan. You're just gonna say that. Just gonna say that. Somebody posted me a picture the other day. I need to repost. It's actually Aaron. So I need to. I'll put it up on Instagram because it looks like somebody has cut out a bit of a satellite image and then coloured it in with colour pencils because it's so bright. It's like you're just like that's not a real thing that exists. Highlighters. Yeah, it's like it's just crazy. So anyway, yeah. It was, Sean says that he loves Dragon Khan. So that's this crazy ride. No, it's not for me. If Karen says it's amazing, it's not for me. No.
So apparently there's some more big roller coasters in that park in Portaventura. So I definitely need to go there. I feel like we need to do we might have to do some European park trips this year, Natasha. Luke and Rich are in as well. They said they want to go to Effling, DLP, Park Asterix. We'll pick you up on the way.
Yeah, Aaron says Asterix and Obelix Park have to be done. Oh my God, yes. You have to drive around the M25, which means you have to come get us. Oh my God, I'm skipping. And then Trevor says the entire Disney trilogy is absolute trash. You're talking about Star Wars, and I'm still okay with episode 7 and 8, but I do not like episode 9. Yes, also same thing. Narrative escapes.
I liked it. I don't know.
No, it was awful, Karen. We can't be friends now. No. I haven't rewatched it. I should rewatch it, but I still feel like I am dying to know what this air bridge thing is. Oh, sorry. Oh, wait. Yeah. Luke and Rich say they were talking about the concept of air bridges between countries where both have a low rate of transmission, so no quarantine between the two countries. I'm not sure if it will actually happen. Things you learned today. Today I learned. Okay, cool. Yeah. Today I learned.
Water. Oh, no, go on.
Oh, sorry. Sean just said he likes episode 9, can't remember it. I would like to know the correlation between people who put ketchup in the fridge and liking of episode 9. Thank you very much. It's a nice study for us.
I didn't have strong dislike for it. It gave me some feels. I was good with it. I really liked the whole end part. Yeah.
I sat at the cinema. Liam said, "What did you think?"
What about the transition of the lightsaber? Did you like that bit when he didn't have a lightsaber and then he had a lightsaber? Because
no, I dig that part. I really I'm sure everyone's seen it. Spoilers probably on ears for just a little bit. Yeah. But I did like that. I liked the dark Rey. She looked really cool. Spoilers over. So
you watch it on Disney Plus, though. It's there now, right?
I know. I just don't know how much I hate myself to do that. So
I was going to look at Corinne's comment there. So that Portaventura water ride drop is hilarious. We love it. I could talk about Portaventura for ages. Okay, so I feel like this European trip is coming together.
I love a road trip, I love a road trip, Karen. We should do that for a show. I love a road trip. So Nathan says Tron is now scheduled to open close to the actual anniversary rather than spring. Ratatouille potentially pushed to early next year. Guardians supposed to push 2022. Yes, that's the other big one. Guardians is the other big one. See, this is what I mean. It's like the 50th is.
Yeah, will they ever finish Guardians of the Galaxy? Right? I feel like there's a bit of sarcasm in there. Will they ever finish it? Who knows?
Will there ever be a third movie? We'd never see a third movie. Trevor, you are a gem. Thank you for all of your comments. Thank you.
About me, Trevor.
Really sweet. Trevor.
About my channel.
Karen's videos.
I'm only joking.
Trevor is mine. Yeah. Alan says the best bit is no queue for the Dodgems. I'm guessing this is in Port Aventura. No queue. I like. Do you know what? Oh my god! I almost have like pulled my finger off on a Dodgems ride. That is a story for another day. Ask me about my Dodgems finger story. That sounds better than I made it sound. Okay. Sorry.
Okay, first point of call for next week's live is Natasha's Dodgems finger story. Okay, that is great. So Troy, moving quickly on, is looking at the Nintendo World picture. I love the stark contrast between it and Harry Potter next door.
Right?
That's kind of like, I bet that's similar to Guardians of the Galaxy, not Guardians, Star Wars and Toy Story Land. If you look at the aerial view of that, you've got like, the whole like Galaxy's Edge thing going on, and then bright, colorful.
I know, it's
Toy
just
Story.
like, yeah, actually, yes, no, you're right. It's exactly the same. You're just gonna be blinded by it. Oh well, yes, and you're gonna have all the little wizards and witches running around. It'll be beautiful.
Luke and Rich, I think, are laughing at me doing my speed comments.
Speed comments, go. Go. Fridge, ketchup in the fridge, yes, and episode 9, yes. Oh no, casuals, this is not the correlation I was predicting in my hypothesis. So yeah. Although Sean, ketchup's in the fridge, not up for debate. Did you say something about episode 9? I feel like you did. Luke and Rich say, "Oh,
so Natasha, you've just crossed yourself over there." So people who like ketchup in the fridge are also liking Star Wars Episode 9. If anyone likes their ketchup in the fridge and didn't like Episode 9, let us know.
Yeah. Now I'm wondering if I'm the strange one. Luke and Rich say hopefully they do finish Guardians and Tron, hoping they can ramp up construction without guests getting in the way. Yeah. The nice thing is that Tron's set back, right? So Tron is a little bit further back. So maybe
they were still plowing away with that construction while the parks were open. That's probably one of the most visible constructions I've ever seen in a park. In Disney World, like the Tron construction was pretty noticeable. Nathan was saying we should make it a discussion investigation. This whole ketchup in the fridge and episode 9. So if you don't know that these guys
strange correlations,
they have their discussion on a Saturday night at 9 p.m. over on that UK Disney Couples channel.
I love really discussion.
Yeah, it's really good fun.
I love it.
Trevor, episode 9 is hot trash. It's a messy Ray and Mary Sue.
It is like the whole Mary Sue thing. I think you can read about it on TV Tropes, right? Or no, there's a website called Mary Sue. Oh, my brother's going to be so mad at me. The Mary Sue is like it's a thing. Look it up. But anyway, yes, yes, Trevor, yes. Yes, Trevor, yes. But Quinn says he does like episode 9. Air bridges between countries with low transmissions. Not us then. Yeah, we don't have low transmissions. That's
I like Luke and Rich's comment. Let's rent a coach.
Let's rent a coach. Oh my god. I used to do coach trips to Germany when I was little for swimming competitions, and we used to have double-decker coaches. All the cool kids sat downstairs. I never sat downstairs. And it had a toilet on board the coach. It was amazing.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was amazing. I got 16 hours. Troy, I'm going to be making more episodes on my Japan trip plan. Oh no, I thought you were talking about Japan trip. Japan trip, definitely. Japan trip planning series. I do have some ideas. I might get through the Japan trip videos themselves, and then because it's unlikely that I'm going to have another trip to edit, then we'll probably do something like that. That would be a good idea. I know I still owe people Disneyland videos. Sorry about that.
So Trevor says you guys definitely need to visit some European parks for sure.
I feel like now we're like, I thought I was like, by the way, there's European parks, and like everybody else has been but us. Yeah. Karen, what have we been doing with ourselves? What have we been doing?
All my UK YouTubers go on Euro trip. Imaging.
Imagine the blog. Yeah. There will not be a word in Edgeways. Like I'll never be able to talk. It'll just be like a stream of words, like this like white noise of blogging. Oh, bless you, Liam. Karen says, "No, you're good." How do we form a car train road trip like one of those 80s trucker films? Oh yeah.
Oh, that'd be so much fun.
My
boyfriend just got a new car, and it's a convertible. So Natasha, you can ride with me, and we'll start the chain with Luke and Rich.
I'm looking forward to these pictures of the churros, guys.
Yes.
I'm very impressed with the churros. I just like, my biggest thing at the moment is just to stick like a sticky toffee pudding in the oven and like pour some homemade, like some pre-made custard on it. Like that's about as far as we're going when it comes to fancy desserts. And Kershaw say a coach trip would be it would be amazing. God, it would be so much fun. I mean, we'll probably all hate each other by the end. Like, but
we have to make sure no one tries to charge camera batteries on the coach, otherwise we might not make it out of the UK. And then Luke and Rich said we need a double-decker coach to allow for social distancing. Yes. Oh, Hannah, the space, what is it? Is it Space 220? Is that how you pronounce it? Or Space 220? Space 220? The restaurant.
It's right below the one that's going to be in Epcot.
Yeah.
Space 220 restaurant. Oh, yes, because I can't remember what it was, but it was the restaurant that they were going to put in Epcot, right? So and there would be like, it would look like you're in an international space station.
It looks really cool, but you know what? It's one of the things that I haven't really read a lot about or looked into a lot. But then I tend to avoid these things and wait to be surprised. So
I did look into it because I thought my dad would quite like it. And so I thought I did a little bit of research into it, but I think it's not going to be run by Disney. And I don't know if it's Landry. I think it might be another one of the groups. But so sometimes I'm like a bit like, oh, Disney aren't running it.
Oh, but Yak and Yeti though.
See, Yak and Yeti is like is amazing. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I'd have trust. I have trust and faith.
More shout out to Efteling. I'm gutted I've not made it happen until now. Derek agrees. Ketchup is in the fridge. Episode 9. No, Natasha is right. We have screenshot control of 4. Right? Yeah.
Oh, there's a couple. So Derek and Trevor. And then we have a stage in flight as well who says ketchup in the fridge. Thumbs up. Star Wars. Weird smile.
Nah. Ketchup in the fridge. Hate episode 9 from Trevor. Right. And Nathan's
discussion has its own channel. Is that right?
Oh,
is that what we're saying? Cool.
Yeah, tomorrow I think discussions is going to be really quite long. They have some great information about the situation in the parks. If you want more info and more discussions around that, then discussions is the place to go to sort of have a good chat about that. Maybe we'll find out some more by tomorrow. 24 hours. We could know some more by tomorrow. Yeah. Exactly.
I like this. Sean said starting Blackpool on the coach to ride Walt's Alice in Wonderland.
Oh yeah, and I've never done that.
Yeah, me neither.
Ketchup in the fridge, episode 9. Yeah.
There's a few.
Yeah, 2 a.m. chat. And Luca Ritz say, without having new content at the moment, are you both reviewing old content and making new vlogs? I know Karen has started her Shanghai exploring videos, which have any more vlog plans. Yeah, your Shanghai videos have been amazing. Like you've done all of your touring of all of the,
I mean, like I had the footage. I filmed the footage obviously when we were there, and then my hard drive died, and then I got it recovered months later, and by that time I'd started a new series. So I'm releasing the Shanghai tours. And then in terms of other new content, I mean, I'm doing the weekly vlogs, so I guess that's new every week, but I wanted to go back and do more DVC vlogs. And what else do I want to do? I want to do some planning videos, because like I haven't done any planning videos for I haven't done a trip to California, haven't done Shanghai. I feel like a couple of planning videos would be helpful, because I guess right now most of us can do is plan. So it probably is a good time to start making some planning content. It's just finding the time, like with work and everything. But yeah, how about you?
The Disneyland one is like Disneyland one is. I think I'm gonna have a lot more time after Monday, because the thing that I'm working on right now will finish on Monday, and so then I'll have a lot more time, and I need to really get on that. And then there's a lot of Japan content. Like there's a lot of Japan content because I was away for so long. I was away for the whole of January, so there's still quite a substantial amount to do for that. After that, it depends where we are, because I do have one Shanghai trip that I never edited, so I could do that as well. So I think I am going to concentrate on the Disneyland Shanghai footage that I never put up, and that's probably
plenty of park footage to keep you going, probably.
Exactly. So I don't imagine there'll be anything else. I'm going to jump forward because Trevor says you should write a book about your Japanese trips with I know I've thought about it, although I the same as you, Karen. Like I don't know if there's going to be the time right now with the other things that are going on. But met Cakes with Faces, who's like a UK based blogger, and she runs her own small business. She makes loads of amazing clothing, and she's writing a book currently, and I believe it's in Kickstarter. So it's Cakes with Faces, and she's got a great account. Her hair is pink and blue or some other crazy colors. She's awesome. So if you're looking for that kind of sort of blogger made book, her book is going to be fantastic, and also really, really good for vegans and vegetarians, as I'm pretty sure she's vegan. So she has some great recommendations for that. Yeah, really.
So Nathan is talking about this space, where I'm going to call it Space 220. I don't know if that's what it's called. Is run by Patina Group. So, and down below, it's the same group that do Via Napoli, which is a great restaurant. So,
I love Via Napoli. Yeah. Okay. I might not too bad.
Via Napoli. Let's go Via Napoli.
Via Napoli, yeah, I actually really like Via Napoli. So yeah, that actually sounds pretty exciting. Oh, they do the Edison as well. I didn't know that. I've not actually eaten at the Edison, but you have, haven't you?
Oh, the Edison was good. Yeah. Oh my God, the portion sizes are massive, which is the same for Via Napoli. So maybe we're in for some big portion sizes, which I'm always down for. But yeah,
I always feel a bit weird about the Edison, because I'm more of a Nikola Tesla fan than an Edison fan. Science things. So
it's really nice food, though.
I know, and I do really like the decor because it's steampunk.
Yeah,
I'm just cool. Like, just one.
I really liked it. I went with
It sound like a car. Anyway, sorry.
But you really like share mains. You could share mains between two. I had the like cheese toasty and tomato soup, and literally I think 3 people could have eaten that. It was massive. It was so big.
I should try it. I would like to try it. Is it dining plan? Well, is it dining plan? Was it dining plan, Karen? At the Edison? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I think it's probably a was it dining plan now. Was it dining plan?
Move swiftly on.
That's okay. Felicity says that she can't find discussions. So Karen and I will post it into our Instagram feed. So then we'll point to the discussions, so you can go find it. We will. The loop. All right, okay, cool.
Would love to see more Disneyland and Shanghai videos, Natasha. That's from Derek. They are coming.
They're cooking on a very low heat for extremely long time. So they will get there. And Alan says, Nathan, it'd be interesting to see if you found out what they're doing for UK bookings. Email spaces, basically, if they do have no idea and don't call us. So yeah, I think a few people got the email from Disney about their existing bookings saying, please wait.
Hang in there, folks, basically.
Yeah. Don't.
Nathan, do you have like some special info? Did we miss a comment there? Yeah. So Nathan, if you've got any special info, let us know.
Derek, please. I will do it. I promise. I'm so sorry.
No pressure. No pressure.
Sorry.
But extra pressure.
I know.
No pressure.
There was no pressure. I know. I need to get into it. Once I get over this little hurdle of something that I'm working on, then I'll get those things sorted. I promise. So I'm sorry. I'm a bad blogger.
Oh, we had someone ask what my channel is called. It is Karen B, like a bee that goes the same as the name you can see. Wait, there.
Oh yes, of course.
It's so hard to do this on this screen because it flips everything. But yeah, thank you for putting that comment in as well.
Trevor says, have you heard of Meow Wolf in the US? It's amazing. Will blow your mind. I have not. I have no idea what it is. I will look it up. Meow Wolf. I don't know what it is. Trevor, you want to tell me what it is?
Katsu chicken curry right now. I love katsu curry.
I know it's been a long time actually. I've hardly had any Japanese food actually in a really long time, as you can imagine. So
what? I know all the words to Crazy Frog.
There's no words in Crazy Frog, Trevor. What are you talking about?
What's that? Wait, dibbity-da,
are they words? Sounds. That's a Crazy Frog. That ruined the Axel F song. That Crazy Frog. The Crazy Frog. All right. Nathan says he has no special info, unfortunately. He's doing some research for the show tomorrow. So if I come up with anything, I'll let you know. So it'll be fresh. It'll be fresh info tomorrow in discussions. Karen, we did it.
We did what?
We got to the end of the comments.
Oh, right. Okay.
And on no effort of my own, pretty much all you. Like Natasha,
If we left Natasha to it, we'd still be 5 commenting, guys.
I've got so many stories and nobody wants to listen to them.
Listen to them. We do want to listen. I just feel like we need about 3 hours.
We need a break.
If we want to go Natasha speed, we need a good 3 hours every Friday. If you'll notice, like when it's on Natasha's channel, Natasha controls the pop-up of comments, and I use.
We're trying to say, Karen,
to speed her along on when it's on my channel. So when Natasha's going off on one of her tangents, I just pop up a comment and I wait, and it kind of prompts her then to finish her story.
Like a little dog, I just go along. Oh, Karen's put another comment up. Okay, let's speed up.
Yeah. Hello. I was even sure we have there is a private chat thing on here, so every now and then I've been tempted to just be like, Natasha.
Do you think I know where the private chat is, Karen? Honestly, I have no idea. I'd completely miss it. Like, come on. All right. Okay.
We definitely want the bumper car finger story. So you're gonna have to come back next Friday on my channel for Natasha's bumper car.
It's so not worth it now. Like, oh my god. All right, Claire, I will tell the bumper car finger story. I can't say it. Troy asked if either of you stayed at one of the capsule hotels in Japan. No, Troy, because up until recently they've been male only. It was really, really hard to find capsule hotels that were for women. Yeah, mostly because it was for business men, sadly, mostly when they couldn't get home after business meetings or staying out too late at night after work and such. And so capsule hotels would do floors for women, but they would be very small rooms. They wouldn't be a capsule hotel, but that has now changed. There's actually capsule hotels that you can stay in. So next time it will be possible to do it. Although I don't know how you social distance when you stay at a capsule hotel. That's an interesting question.
Just skipped a couple there just quickly. So Paul and Cheryl said they can stay here for longer, obviously for the Natasha.
Oh, you guys.
Luke and Rich said they love the Friday chat. Thanks, guys. And Trevor subbed to my channel.
Yay! Karen's videos are amazing. And actually, so one of the things I love about Karen's videos, the DVC and your DVC stuff, I just love it. It's just so good to know whether it's right for you. It's such a crazy thing, and Karen breaks it down really well. It's really, really amazing. Right, and sorry, where are we?
We'll go back to Paul and Cheryl's comment. Our Friday nights revolve around you guys being live now. Oh, that's so sweet. Our Friday nights revolve around it too, I guess, because we have to be here. But I love it. It's really made my Friday evenings, to be honest. Like, it's really nice. It's a nice social event. Like, we all get to come and chat, and it flies by. Like, we always say we'll try and do an hour, and already, we're 10 minutes.
I know, that's the problem. It always happens like that, isn't it? And I think it's always, I never did a live before. Oh, well, I have done a few sort of Instagram lives and such, but it's been a lot more comforting having someone else here, and someone else to make sure that I get through the comments.
I find there's none of that weird, you get those awkward silences when you're trying to catch up on comments and stuff. The other person just jumps in. And the thing is, this is someone else has said there as well. I love how you guys are together. It has brightened up my day. But this is how we just chat on a Friday night anyway. Oftentimes Fridays we would spend together. Natasha comes around with some beers, I make some dinner, and we just chat like this for hours. And the same thing happens. We're looking at our watches going, oh my God, how is it 10:30?
Now I have to order an Uber and go home. But now I am home already.
We're already home.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
And maybe actually when this is over and we keep up some chats, we can do some of them actually together, physically together in the room.
That would be one day it will happen. Yeah, I mean that'll probably one day. Luke and Richard said, I think you need a special guest next Friday, maybe Buzz live and direct from Ireland. I was say that would be so much fun. I actually said there's a bunch of stuff. So sometimes, often I speak to my brother after we finish these lives, and if I get any fact wrong, he will tell me you got this isn't quite right, or be oh did you remember this, and I'll be oh damn it. But I was Stephen, you should come in and be a little corner box at the bottom, just a fact checker that just looks up stuff and tells me
when in Countdown when they flick over to the guys with dictionaries. We'll just look over to Stephen and he's no, Natasha, that's not in here.
It's like when I went with the big trip with him to Disney World in August of 2016. It was just like the whole vlog with me I was just basically like, is that where this thing was, really? And Stephen was like rolling off all of the facts, and I was like, I thought I knew stuff about this place, but like, where did he get all this info from? So anyway, he's the person with all the facts. Cool. All right. Where are we? Buzz is a special guest. More support for Buzz for a special.
So we'll have to convince Rachel to bring Buzz on next week, and it'd be fun actually to bring like a guest in, even for like a portion of the. Although I mean we're already like flying through the time, but yeah, it would be fun to get other people involved too. And Paul and Cheryl, thank you. They said Karen's videos are superbly short, unlike our 2-hour fest on TVC. I tried to like keep it, and instead of doing like, because I know you guys did one like really long informative video, I tried to do like maybe some like smaller ones, so I actually have more to do, which I'm sure when you put together will probably be like, you know, just
so Karen's videos are the warm-up for Paul and Cheryl's videos.
Yeah. You
really like DVC. There you go, 2 hours of DVC. And Linda says thank you for keeping it real. Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, we have let's answer the question from Derek. How did you two meet? We met through YouTube. So
we met through YouTube.
We're commenting on each other's vlogs, and then I don't know how we got chatting anyway, and then we said we would maybe try and do something together, and then doing something together actually became going to Paris together.
Yeah, that was like that, and I was just like, is this a good idea? Like, I've met this person like all of 3 or 4 times. Like, is this a good idea? It turned out to be a good idea.
Yeah. The first time we met, we just like talked for hours.
Yeah.
We only planned to like meet for a quick coffee, and like, oh my god, we're chatting for ages. So
it's always a bit weird. Like, you just because Karen had posted enough stuff about London that I like had enough confidence that she actually lived in London, and so I was just like, yeah, we're speaking to each other enough. It's like, let's just meet up and then have a chat. And it was so that was it really. The YouTubes. A fact check like Twitter did on the orange one in the week. Ha 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 ha. Yes, Twitter's fact checking is hit the news this week, hasn't it? A little bit too late for them to be doing that, but on the orange one. But yes, they have been at least doing it now. We're glad you both met, as it meant we got to meet you both. Yeah, we met Luke and Rich. I know you met Luke and Rich previously, but then I think I met them in that Paris trip as well. The same Paris trip that we went to.
Paris trip.
Yeah,
it was our first trip that we all met up, because I had met Luke the year before, because we were both only just starting out, I think, and me and Rachel were there on a trip, and Luke and Rich were there, and we were both standing outside the gates at Disneyland Paris, so we got chatting, and then a year later I was friends with Natasha, and I think Luke and Rich were also planning their Japan trip, so they had already been watching your vlog. We all just got together then in Paris, and that's how
it was a fun trip. I had to go on Tower of Terror, which wasn't the fun part, but the rest of it was great. The rest of it was good.
Paul and Cheryl have said they've met me. Apparently I'm wonderful. That's great to know. And they'd love to meet Natasha at one point.
Yeah, definitely. When we can all see people IRL again.
And Hannah,
sorry, go
I didn't know you guys met like that. I'm loving the YouTube friends into real friends. And Hannah is also one of our friends that we met through YouTube as well. So me and Hannah met, I think, first. Yeah, because I think we knew we were going to see you in Orlando, Hannah. And then me and Hannah met up in London, went for a few gins. And then Hannah was in Walt Disney World at the same time as all of us in September. So we got to hang out there as well. And we actually, random story, ended up going to a Little Mix concert because my sister and I had tickets. And I can't remember why Rachel couldn't go, but she couldn't go. And so I was like texting around, got in touch with Hannah, and she was free to go. So me and Hannah went to see Little Mix together as well. Yeah,
I'd love to see Little Mix. For a woman I follow on Kerry, I follow her on Instagram. She absolutely adores Little Mix so much. Every time I hear Little Mix, I think of her. But yeah, apparently that concert was amazing.
Okay, right. I think we'll catch these last few comments, and then we will bid you all farewell. So Luke and Rich said, we all met in DLP, but on different trips. So DLP is apparently the place to be.
Apparently so. Twitter's a massive toilet wall anyone can write on.
I love that comment. That's so funny. And then Tower of Terror.
No, it's okay. I think Hannah don't have to do it. I'm staying with Hannah. You're all cruel people.
Because then you'll have someone to stay with. So, oh, I don't know. We can't have that happening because then you'll stay with Hannah and both
There's
of you.
more of us. There's more. I have support. I have some moral support. Yeah, and Nathan says looking forward to seeing everyone once this madness is over.
Yeah.
Definitely. And Trevor says, I love how you know so much about video games, Natasha. It's one of the things I don't vlog about, weirdly, which I'm wondering whether I should. I'm sort of toying with the idea of starting a Twitch account, maybe sometime in the
You'll be so
future.
good. This is where
Yeah,
all
it
your
might be fun.
right?
Yeah, I mean, like, this is the thing. Like, could you imagine if I'm 6 hours streaming video games? You guys are all gonna have to listen to my stories. So, well, I mean, you don't have to, like, you don't actually have to tune in. But anyway, possibly in the future we'll do some stuff. Near Automata. I don't actually know how you say it. It's a game I'm playing at the moment, and it's amazing. Loves it. And a UK Disney couple said we met Nathan through this, and now he's our adopted son.
Sean is his uncle and Kaz is aunt. Oh, that's cute. Yeah,
that's adorable. I love it.
It's so good. I mean, so many people have made, like, you know, YouTube friends into real life friends through this. So yeah, it's really cool. I think it's great. It's just another way to meet people, and also people that you just automatically have something in common with, because, you know, we all love the parks and Disney and all
that.
So.
Exactly.
Oh no. Oh no. Sorry to bring it up.
Sorry, Linda.
Swiftly on, Linda.
Yeah, swiftly on. I think Derek says it perfectly. So much fun today, and have a wonderful week. Yeah, it's been tough for a few people. I've not had like the best week myself, and so I said it last time, say it again. It's always a pleasure speaking to everyone on Fridays, catching up with Karen and just having a chat with you all. It's always amazing. So
especially when we've had the rougher weeks, like this has been the thing that's like just, it's helped you like shut the work away and then just have a lovely fun chat and start the weekend off right.
Yeah. Well, have an amazing time. Go play video games or watch some more YouTube videos. Make some churros. Build some Lego.
Yeah, make some churros. Or some Dole Whip.
Dole Whip. Yeah. Post your Dole Whip recipes. Even if they have dairy, it is allowed. You're just trying to get the taste. It doesn't matter if it's got dairy in it. I still think there's oil in Dole Whip. Maybe there's not.
Next week for Natasha's story about bumper cars and her finger.
On Karen's channel. I
love Luca Rich's comment. So Disney friends are great, but they make you spend way more money because you spend hours chatting and end up spending more money.
It's so true. It's so true.
Like, one of us will find something and be like, "Oh my god, did you know about this?" And then it's like, then we all.
Did you know about this other place? It's just like selling these things, and I'm just like, I don't. Just like hard.
Forced you into a Disney trip. I mean, it's at least 2.
Yeah, just come along to Walt Disney World.
Like, me in Shanghai though, so like I got you to Walt Disney World, you got me to Shanghai, so
yeah,
and I'm already trying to convince her to come on another trip with me. So yeah,
I think it's working. I think it's a pretty much a done deal, really.
Thanks so much, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us again.
Thank you. Have an amazing week. Chat to you on Instagram and on comments and stuff, and we'll see you next week on Karen's channel. So thanks again, everyone. See you. Bye.